Welcome to the second episode of The Hobby According to Me. We are live right now. We do this live, folks. We live in the real time. This is our second episode, which is dedicated to which NHL rookies from the 1920 rookie crop that you can currently purchase and still have return on your investment. Meaning maybe they're sleepers, maybe they're not, but I feel that these 5 players have room to grow, and we're going to tell you, in my opinion, which 5 those are. Please, with a disclaimer, don't invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into these cards. This is just my opinion. I've been wrong before, but I think I'm going to be pretty successful on these 5 rookies. So this actually came from a question from our mailbag in Hamming It Up, which is our mail segment. Somebody asked us which rookies that we could still invest in and still return a profit on from the 1920 NHL crop. So the way I broke this down, there's rookies that are worth a lot of money right now with your Cale Makar, your Quinn Hughes, but they're already maybe peaked out for financial. They're already at the max for return. They would have to do something spectacular for those cards to maybe skyrocket even more, which is possible, but I think they've already hit their max for their investment purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 players that you can buy currently, and I've got a little bit of an idea of what they're currently selling for. I use Young Guns as a reference, and I'm going to give you those 5 players now. So without further ado, number 5, I did want to have a defenseman on the list. So coming in at number 5 is Adam Fox from the New York Rangers. Why are you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, why Adam Fox? And I'm going to tell you why. Adam Fox has a little bit of a following. We've done fairly well with the sales of his cards. The big thing with Adam Fox is he is kind of like a power play quarterback. This is definitely, you're going to hear about this a couple times tonight. It is the Alexis Lafreniere effect, okay? Lafreniere gets drafted to the New York Rangers. If Adam Fox becomes their power play quarterback, he's going to put up a ton of points, which then escalates the price of his cards. If he's on the power play with Lafreniere, his cards will go up in value, just because of the fact that Lafreniere is going to be a point machine. Maybe not this year, but in the future, definitely going to happen. So Adam Fox comes in at number 5 on my list. As we're talking right now, I just checked before we went live on the air. You can buy his Young Guns in the $10 to $20 range on eBay. I think there's definite room for investment there. Maybe go a little light on them just to be safe. Personally, I just picked up about 15 of them in the $15 range. I'm seeing these cards maybe top out at $40, $50 in maybe a couple years. It just has a Miro Heiskanen feel to it. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Heiskanen from a few years before. Took a little bit of time before his Young Guns started to escalate in price, or his rookies, period. But down the road, I think this guy's going to be a point producer for the New York Rangers. That's also something that we need to touch on, the fact that he plays in a major market. You're going to hear about markets on this broadcast tonight. I want to say hello to everybody tuning in. Yes, prospecting. This is what we call it in the hobby, prospecting. I'm going to tell you the 5 rookies right now that you can currently buy that you'll do well with, in my opinion. But don't kill me if you don't. It's just fair. I got to throw that out there. But I've been doing this for a long time, and they're the ones that I'm investing in, and I'm trying to pass this knowledge on to you. And if you disagree, please leave it in the comments. Or if you want anybody you can add to the list, definitely do so as well. We did start off the program by saying players such as like Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes have maybe already maxed out their value. They are defensemen. Usually defensemen do see a decrease in value, but they don't go too far, but they do drop over time. Adam Fox, being a defenseman, has room to go up and then stabilize, but that's why we have him at number 5 on the list today. Moving on to number 4. Cody Glass. Cody Glass, I'm very big on Cody Glass, and I'm going to tell you why. The Las Vegas Golden Knights refused to trade Cody Glass to the Montreal Canadiens in the Max Pacioretty deal. They had plans for this guy. They still have plans for this guy. As of right now, he is slotting in at their number 2 center. For those of you that don't know, that means he's probably going to get power play time. and he's probably going to get a whole bunch of ice time, period, as the number 2 center this year. Expect a breakout season for Cody Glass. I think they're going to hand him the reins and let him run with it. He may be their number 1 center by the end of the year. Cody Glass, Young Guns. Obviously, I'm saying Young Guns because that's what I did my research on. You can find them in the 15 to 25, maybe as high as $30 right now. Cody Glass plays in a hockey mad market. I never thought I would ever say that, a hockey mad market in the Las Vegas Golden Knights franchise. So we've got comments coming in from people that know hockey saying that Cody Glass has number 1 potential written all over him. I definitely agree with that. Cody Glass kind of coming in a little bit under the radar right now. If he is, another thing that you need to know about Cody Glass, he is a draft pick of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Being an expansion franchise, a lot of their successful players right now were not homegrown talents, with guys such as Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty. They do have a few guys in the cupboard right now, or homegrown talent, we like to call it. Guys like Alex Tuck, guys like Cody Glass. These are the guys that, in the future, Las Vegas Golden Knights fans are going to connect with the most. And I think Cody Glass has a huge potential. His stuff is criminally underrated right now. So if that tells you anything, he's number 4 on the list. So who else out there, starting with number 3 right now, who you can invest in? This one's going to be a big surprise. Kaapo Kakko from the New York Rangers. Again, we're going to talk about the fact that he's a New York Ranger. He was the number 2 overall pick a few years back. Kind of a lackluster rookie year, but that's okay. The guy's got skill all day long. In the future, he will be the beneficiary of the Alex Lafreniere effect as well. But this guy will be the number 1 beneficiary. So the thing you want to know about Kakko is he's going to be on the power play. It's going to be like McDavid and Draisaitl all day long in New York in a few years. If Kaapo does pan out, which I think he will, he's got size and skill. He reminds me so much of a Leon Draisaitl, riding shotgun with a guy like Lafreniere being McDavid, or McDavid vice versa. It screams it. It's Crosby Malkin all over again. It's the big 1-2 punch that teams are always looking for. Kaapo Kakko will be a stud in this league. At broadcast tonight, I was seeing his Young Guns. They're actually starting to creep up, and I think it's because of the Lafreniere effect. Maybe I'm a little bit late telling you guys this, but you could still find his Young Guns in the $50 range. These are in Canadian prices, by the way. But if he turns out to be the player that we think he's going to be, it's not out of the question that he could be a $100 Young Gun. It goes without saying that if you put up points in the league and you're a high pick, these things happen for you. And obviously the New York market being the major factor in this as well. Lafreniere will not be a bust. That's for a future episode. We will dedicate an entire episode to him. He will not be a bust, and I'll tell you reasons why in that episode. But definitely put your money behind guys like Kaapo Kakko and Adam Fox. They're the secondary players right now because of Lafreniere, but that's because of the fact that Lafreniere's kind of overshadowing, which makes it affordable to buy these other guys like Fox and Kaapo. So we'll move on to number 2 on the list right now. Kirby Dach. Kind of crazy right now that I'm talking about Kirby Dach. He was slated to be the captain of Team Canada. Broke his wrist. Kirby Dach still number 2 on my list, and I'm going to tell you why. Kirby Dach is phenomenal. Kirby Dach dominated the playoffs, even though it was a short time frame last year. He looked like a man amongst boys, and he's only like 20 years old. Kirby Dach is the real deal. His Young Guns have started to go up, but there's a short window here, folks, and I want to tell you something about Kirby Dach. There's a very short window. I bought up a ton of his Young Guns maybe a week ago, just prior to the tournament starting. I was expecting him to have a big tournament and then cash in at the end of the tournament when he was maybe tournament MVP, or because if he would have played, he would have been the best player for Team Canada, period. I firmly believe that. If he would have played, his cards would have spiked in value as well. then he would have went back and had a pretty good season for the Chicago Blackhawks as well. You've got a short window right now. I don't think this injury is really going to affect him long term. It's actually brought his young guns down a little bit, or his rookies down a little bit, because people are worried about the injury. But I went out and bought nearly 20 young guns the other day. On average, they were probably $40, $45 a piece. And even today, I don't think people are buying into it. You can still find them between $40 and $60 usually. But they were like $20 cards maybe 3 months ago. We had the playoff bubble, and they really skyrocketed. But the thing you need to know about Kirby Dach, market. I'm going to say it over and over again. The market he plays in is phenomenal for hockey cards. Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, they do very well. Up until recently, Duncan Keith, they were really good sellers. Maybe not Duncan Keith because he's a defenseman, but they're just really good sellers. Chicago's got, 8 million people? They're just a powerhouse as far as fanfare, and a lot of people buy their cards. So I've got Kirby Dach coming in at number 2. The number 1, it's not going to surprise anybody. I've been pumping this guy up for the better part of the last year. It is Nick Suzuki for the Montreal Canadiens, and you're gonna say to yourself, you're gonna go online and see his young guns already hitting $75. There's a lot of room, guys. He's being compared to Mitch Marner. He's been compared to other players that are in smaller stature. He will be their best player. He's going to be their number 1 center for years. He plays in a hockey-crazed market in Montreal. I could see if he has a good year, and I'm talking a good year, maybe a point per game year for the Montreal Canadiens this year, his young gun and or other rookie cards, young gun specifically, likely to top out at 125, 150, and maybe even go higher than that. His autograph rookies are already climbing, but they are still in the affordable range where you can buy them and maybe make 20, 30, 40% on them. That's what we're talking about right now. Players that you can still buy their cards and turn a profit maybe a year down the road. This is important information for people that are trying to invest. A lot of people come into this hobby and they know who the first overall pick is, and it's a no-brainer. If you pull that card out of a pack, it's got value. But there's a lot of value in the later picks and guys that are late bloomers. You're seeing guys from 16-17 finally hitting their stride now, the year 16-17 for the rookie crop. And sometimes it takes 4 to 5 years for these rookies to appreciate and value. You got to remember that athletes hit their prime between 25 and 29. I just got puberty there. Yep. So athletes, you're going to see, we're seeing it right now with a Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon is in between that time frame right now in his career. He's the most dominant player in the world right now, in my opinion. It's because he is in his prime. So you're going to see these guys that I'm mentioning from 1920. It might take a few years for these guys, but they will be dominant NHL players when their time comes. And some of them will hit a lot quicker than others. I expect Capo Caco, Nick Suzuki, Kirby Dach, minus the injury. These guys would have all been very, very popular in the next year or so. Their stuff will start to rise. Adam Fox, maybe a little bit later. Cody Glass, maybe a bit later as well. Might take a few more years for those guys. But you're going to see returns on these players once they start playing with these other superstars that are coming in. Adam Fox, we'll recap on that. He's got look at the lineup they can put out there on the first power play. You'd have Lafreniere, Capo Caco, Artemi Panarin, and Adam Fox. And if they wanted to run another forward on the back end or another defenseman, they're pretty set there. You got 3 high-end talents on the front there. So just to recap, I think we've got a recap set up here. We had Adam Fox, I just mentioned him. Followed by Cody Glass. Again, slow burn on Cody Glass. Came out hot out of the gate, kind of settled down a little bit for his rookie cards, but there's still a ton of room there. Capo Caco, he's probably the biggest wild card right now. Had a horrible rookie season to start his career, but he's going to be the Draisaitl to McDavid / Lafreniere for the New York Rangers. Kirby Dach, again, now might be a very short window for you guys to buy his rookie cards up due to the injury. I would go medium on him, I guess, as far as spending. I have picked up probably close to 20 young guns in maybe the last week or two. And Nick Suzuki, time is ticking, folks. As soon as the season starts and he puts up a decent game, his stuff is going to skyrocket. So time is ticking. Season starts the 13th. I fully expect him to be dominant this year. We got some questions coming in here. We've also got some statements. Doc is a beast. What do you do in the playoffs when 19 was insane? Doc reminds me of Draisaitl. So a lot of people are seeing this already. What is your opinion on Nick Robertson? Do you think he'll be a solid player with value down the road? I know a Leaf player. I haven't followed Nick Robertson enough to give a... So what you need to know is a lot of these players are playing right now. I didn't watch Nick Robertson enough to get a very good grasp on what his stuff might be worth. The Leaf market is very good. If he can somehow sneak his way into a top 6 forward role, then I would invest. You're the fan. If you're a Leaf fan, you know. If you think Nick Robertson has a chance at being a top 6 player for the Toronto Maple Leafs, then I would buy. If he's a bottom 6 forward for them, I would stay away. And that's just due to the fact that sizzle sells, and that's a famous saying that I come up with. Sizzle sells. They got to be sexy players as far as like on the TV, putting up points. We're seeing more comments coming. I'm just trying to catch up on these. This is a live show. That's different from maybe what my counterparts do on these informational or info shows that they put out. We are going live, so we're getting a ton of comments come in right now, and I do thank the viewers for that. So I'm trying to catch up and keep the show flowing. So Kravtsov for New York Rangers, exact same thing. He might be the beneficiary of who's playing with him. He might be the guy this year. He might be the guy to come in and light it up, put up 30 goals in 60 games. Yeah. He might be the guy. You never know. But he didn't make my top 5 list, mainly because his rookies are from this year, from 2021. Maybe we'll be talking about him down the road. It's a topic for another show, that's for sure. This episode was dedicated to the 1920 rookies that are still readily available for maybe for profit down the road. So without further ado, we're going to hit the mailbag again. I get asked this question all the time in the shop. This is the hamming it up segment.
I don't have the question written.
Oh, we don't have the question. So Brandon's fired. So the question was, Mike, who would you send your cards to if you're going to grade your cards? And the question was, sorry, that was the question. Would you send them to PSA or to Beckett? So we're actually going to dedicate an episode to this. It really depends on what card you're sending. We're gonna do an episode dedicated to this down the road. We should mention that the Hobby According to Me will be a live show coming to you every Thursday night at 6 p.m. We will have new episodes weekly for this. We might be able to shoot 2 episodes a night. So it's something that down the road, always on Thursday night prior to singles night here at the shop. That way you guys know to be ready for singles night as well. So who do you send your cards to, PSA or Beckett? We're going to leave that for a future show, but I'm just going to tell you as of right now, in my opinion, it really depends on which card you're sending. I usually go with, if I'm sending vintage in, I would send it to PSA, and if it's anything probably like 2000 or newer, I'm sending most of it to Beckett, especially young guns and cards like that. But there's reasons for each, and we'll touch on that in a future episode. But for right now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys liked the content tonight. Plenty of comments. We appreciate that. So without further ado, we're going to shut her down tonight. But this has been The Hobby According to Me. Mike Lucio here at Rockets. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, give us the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. We will be back next week with more information, and hopefully we can help you guys out. Take care, everybody.